Over the course of the last 12 months, we've completely reshaped our 30-year investment plan. And what we've done is we've made extra funding available to pick up component replacements that were really important to our customers. And so we listened to feedback, and one of the big things that they wanted to see LHP investing in were the external parts of the buildings. And so I'm really pleased to say that now we've got our first ever LHP external improvement program on site. We needed a new delivery partner to assist us in delivery of the 10-year program that we've just started, and I'm really pleased to say that Fortem are our partnering contractor. We did a full competitive tender exercise. It's taken about 12 months from start to finish. It's been an absolute pleasure working with Fortem and colleagues from around the business to shape this program so that it's fit for purpose, it's easy for our colleagues across the business to manage, and it's also delivering a great customer service for our customers. One of the most impressive things that we've achieved to date is the creation of a truly integrated IT system. So we've removed all administration from the process, and everything can be managed from site. So we don't need people to go back to the office to send emails or fill in paperwork on site. The changes customers can expect to see from the programme are investment in areas that haven't historically been included in the planned maintenance programme. So for example, the external works were never managed in a planned way, as were communal area refurbishment. So there was a painting programme, but not a really in-depth refurbishment programme of communal areas. So those components, those areas of investment that previously have been managed on a more responsive basis, customers can now see that we're managing them in a planned way. The Social Housing Decarbonisation Fund is a government fund designed to bring all properties in social housing up to a minimum level of C. The primary measures that they're looking to fund is insulation. So what we've done, we've taken all of our properties across the stock that have the poorest insulation and energy performance certificates below C, and we've assessed them and seen whether or not they meet the criteria of the funding. And what we've managed to do is secure £8 million worth of match funding for an overall £16 million programme to deliver energy efficiency works, primarily external wall insulation, to around 740 properties across the stock. The homes in the Immingham area are primarily non-traditional stock, so they have some of the lowest levels of insulation currently across the stock. So they're perfect candidates for external wall insulation and the benefits that will bring to their customers. Our SHDF bid was made in partnership with E.On, and E.On have supported us throughout that entire process in terms of assessing our properties, helping us actually submit the bids to the funder. And having successfully received our allocation of funding, E.On have now appointed Thrift to deliver the works on site. So currently, works are fully mobilised. We've got a lot of scaffold that's going up across the Immingham estate, and we've started installing the first properties with external wall insulation. Alongside this, we're also looking at upgrading ventilation to the properties, loft insulation, looking at the DPC and making sure that we're not going to cause any issues with damp in the properties through the works that we're doing. And it's all part of a holistic approach to improving the energy efficiency of the properties in the area. So typically it can cost in the region of £15,000 per property for external wall insulation. When you add on the additional measures such as adjustments to windows, making sure that there's no bridging of the damp-proof courses, that can actually creep up and be in the vicinity of £20,000. So by securing this funding, we're able to insulate solid walled properties, which, other than disruptive internal insulation, there's no other option for insulating them, and they're some of our worst performing properties in terms of energy efficiency. So it makes a real difference in terms of reducing carbon emissions and tackling fuel poverty. So the initial planning stages with E.On have been very positive. E.On and LHP share similar values in terms of putting customers first and driving value for money within delivery. It's been quite complicated because there is the external funding element of the project, so there's a lot of governance around that and making sure that we're managing that in an effective and in a way that's very clear that we're demonstrating best value. But we're shortly going to be starting on site with our first installs with Fortem.
I'm really looking to see some major changes to some of our poorest performing stock in terms of energy efficiency. Support to customers with air source heat pumps is going to be significant. As part of the installation process, we will make sure that customers understand the technology. We'll also make sure that the properties themselves are suited to that type of heating system, so making sure that they're well insulated, that the windows and doors aren't excessively drafty, and really that our customers can get the best out of these systems.
The primary difference that it will make to customers is that it will make their energy significantly more efficient. So not only does that tackle fuel poverty, but it also improves thermal comfort within the residents' homes. Another area that's really important to us as an opportunity that we can take advantage of through this programme is that we're going to be able to improve the external facade of the buildings, so they should be a lot more attractive in terms of aesthetic by the time we're finished with them. In terms of the benefits to LHP, this will play a major role in achieving the corporate plan objective of bringing all of our properties up to a minimum energy performance certificate rating of C by 2030. Our initial relationship with Fortem has been fantastic. The partnering approach that we've taken is delivering excellent customer satisfaction and customer service to our residents who have had work completed to date. So far, Fortem are fully mobilised on the external improvement works, which are fencing paths, hard standing. They're fully mobilised on the heating system installs, and in the next few weeks our streams for kitchen and bathroom replacements and window and door replacements will be coming online. We've had an excellent degree of customer feedback so far from customers who have had the work completed by Fortem, and that's what we're finding from the team is that that's really motivational, and they're getting a good level of job satisfaction from the delivery of the new Fortem project. The next steps in Fortem delivery will be to continue to develop the integrated IT systems and really make sure that we're getting the most out of the system, reducing administration wherever possible and maximising availability of data to other departments around the business. We're very solution focused in terms of making sure that any issues that do arise are managed effectively. They're constantly looking for ways to improve the service to customer and minimise inconvenience of the works that are being undertaken. The common themes that are coming from customers are excellent communication, fantastic level of service, and a really great standard of completed works. Colleagues within the asset management team have been fully empowered to manage the works on site and to have autonomy to make decisions in the best interests of our customers and of the business. This means that they can take full responsibility and have that accountability to deliver a fantastic project on site.
We were approached by the contractors that were explaining what they were doing, and I think within the space of 2 days they came in, they removed the old fence, they kept me fully informed of what they were doing, and they had the work done to a very high standard, as you can see, with concrete posts done within a space of 2 days, and the work was complete. What can I say? Very happy with the work, the product, and the structure, the security, and it means I can let this fella out the front garden now and I've got no worry of him escaping. The contractors were really polite, friendly. They kept me updated on how long it was going to be, if they needed access, as they did my back gate as well. Myself, it is important because I've got a small child as well. It just means that I know that when he's in the front garden, that it is secure, and I know that if the dog comes out, or he's not going to escape and run off, and it just makes it feel a bit that more, you know, it's your own personal space then.
Customers in the future can expect great level of communication in advance of work being undertaken. They will be involved in decision making around their homes wherever possible, and will also take steps to make sure that they're able to have a choice wherever appropriate in the style of component being replaced at their property. So in the future, the projects that are going to be delivered by the asset management team are going to be a continuation of the programmes that are currently on stream and in the process of mobilising with Fortem.
They just came in and said, "Oh, we're going to do your gas central heating and radiators and boiler." They came in, there was 1 day, and that was it. It was good, and we're pleased about it. It was really polite and everything. We made sure everything was right in its own place, moved everything they wanted to move out the way. Couldn't do enough for us. Yeah, saved us money. That'd be important, isn't it? The way gas and everything's going up. They've done a good job, I think.
Working with Fortem as our new delivery partner has been a real pleasure. They share similar values to LHP and we're all pulling in the same direction in terms of delivering best value and making sure that we put customers first at the heart of every decision. So over the next few months the asset management team is going to be busy shaping the new Fortem project, making sure that all our processes are being followed effectively, and those that have been newly created, making sure they're fit for purpose, and if we need to tweak them we'll be doing that. We're also going to be working very closely with colleagues from across the business and developing those relationships and making sure that we're delivering the best possible value for our customers.
So we have a robust 10-year data-driven programme for replacing all of our key components that are required to maintain decency within our homes, the majority of which will be completed as part of the Fortem programme.